removal from Red Emmons Field. Addie Nugent. And in the circle, number 22, Delaney Laudenbacher. Southern Wesleyan is coached by Coy Atkins and is assisted by Jeff McManus, Austin Murray, Natalie Johnson, and Maddie Ward. And now for the starting lineups for your Tusculum University Pioneers. Leading off, playing right field, 00, Anna Alloway. Batting second, playing first base, number 33, Alexis Graham. Batting third, playing shortstop, number 20, Taylor Johnson. Batting fourth, playing third base, number 30, Grayson Brown. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 14, Chloe Freshman. Batting sixth, playing center field, number 3, Sammy West. Batting seventh, the designated player, number 9, Claire Kraut. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 13, Brittany France. Batting ninth, playing left field, number 26, Tori West. And pitching for the Pioneers, number 7, Ivy Richardson. Tusculum is coached by Julie Hubner in her 8th season. She's assisted by Katie Neubauer and Paige Keefer. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise, and gentlemen, remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Fans, we'd also like to remind you that Tusculum University is a tobacco-free campus.
And a very pleasant good afternoon. Welcome to the campus of Tusculum University's Red Emmons Field for softball action today as the Tusculum Pioneers host the Warriors of Southern Wesleyan University. I'm Jim Miller. I'll be along with the call for you of today's doubleheader between the Pioneers and the Warriors. Tusculum coming in with a record of 10-2 on the season. Today they were originally scheduled to be playing at on the road at UVA Wise, but that doubleheader was moved to next Tuesday, March the 3rd, due to concerns about field conditions up there. The field is a little soft here today, but we should have no problem getting 2 games in today. Pioneers off to that 10-2 start on the year, coming off a sweep of Davis and Elkins this past Saturday, winning 8-3 and 2-1. The Pioneers are 4-0 at home this season, and they have won 5 in a row overall. Southern Wesleyan checking in with a record of 8-4 on the season, as they are making the trip up to Greenville today out of Conference Carolinas. The starting lineup for today's games for Southern Wesleyan in Game 1, they'll have Emma Collins lead off in center field. Delaney Byers at second base bats second. Lydia Clinton, right fielder, hits third. Megan New, the catcher, bats fourth. Jalea Sanford at third base hits fifth. Taylor Lee, the left fielder, batting sixth. Kelly Berrigan at first base hits seventh. Riley Herlitzka at shortstop hits eighth. And Addie Nugent, the designated player, batting ninth. Pitching in Game 1 for Southern Wesleyan is Delaney Laudenbacher. For the Pioneers, they'll lead off Ann Alloway in right field. Alexis Gramp at first base bats second. Taylor Johnson, the shortstop, hits third. Batting fourth is the third baseman Grayson Brown. Chloe Freischmidt catching and hits fifth. Sammy West in center field bats sixth. Claire Kraut, the designated player, hits seventh. Batting eighth at second base is Brittany France, and Tori West, the left fielder, will bat ninth. And pitching Game 1 for the Pioneers is right-hander Ivy Richardson. Richardson on the season, a 4-1 record of 1.85 earned run average, making her fifth start of the year. She's thrown 22 and 2/3 innings, allowed 20 hits, 6 earned runs, walked 6, struck out 13. Opponents hitting .227 against the right-hander Ivy Richardson, a junior out of Philadelphia, Tennessee. And our first pitch right at 3 o'clock is taken for a called strike by the leadoff batter, Emma Collins. Collins leading things off here for Southern Wesleyan. The sophomore out of Easley, South Carolina. Next pitch to her is taken inside for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike the count to the leadoff batter, Emma Collins. Richardson with the windup and the 1-1 pitch coming to Collins is fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Collins on the season hitting .273 with a home run and 7 runs batted in. She's stolen 6 bases in 7 attempts. As a team, Southern Wesleyan 34 stolen bases this season in 36 attempts. Last season, Collins hit .178 for the Warriors with a home run and 6 runs batted in. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count to Collins. Richardson's pitch is outside for a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 the count to the leadoff batter for Southern Wesleyan, Emma Collins. Richardson with the windup and the 2-2 delivery. Fouled away, still 2-2. Pioneers winning their last game against Davis and Elkins 2-1 on a walk-off hit by Chloe Freischmidt, the catcher. Freischmidt was named the Southland Conference Player of the Week this week. We'll talk more about her accolades as the doubleheader progresses. 2-2 is the count to Collins, the leadoff batter. Richardson's pitch stays upstairs. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 the count to the leadoff batter, Collins. Richardson with the windup. And the payoff pitch. Fouled away, still 3-2. Richardson's last appearance was in the Davis and Elkins second game of that doubleheader on Saturday. She pitched 2 2/3 innings of relief, struck out 3, did not allow a run, and earned the victory. She's gotten the victory the last 3 times she's taken the rubber. Wind up 3-2 pitch. Foul, or grounded in front of the plate. It is a foul ball as Freischmidt made the play, but the ball stayed foul. It's still 3-2. Richardson has won 3 of her 4 starts, including Friday against Cedarville in a 15-2 victory. Or check that, Saturday. My days are off. I'm off a day. Davis and Elkins was Sunday. Cedarville was Saturday. Against Cedarville, she pitched 4 innings, allowed 4 hits, 2 unearned runs, got the victory in a 15-2 Tusculum win. 3 balls, 2 strikes here to Collins at the pitch. Take it for a called strike 3. So after a battle, Collins goes down looking, first out of the game.
The second baseman, number 14.
That'll bring up Delaney Byers, the second baseman for Southern Wesleyan. Byers on the season is hitting .313, a home run, 5 runs batted in. She's also walked 9 times. Byers, a sophomore out of Lecanto, Florida. Wind up the first pitch from Richardson is there for a strike. Byers last season hit .275. She started 41 games for the Warriors, had 3 home runs, 25 runs batted in. A lot of players back from last year's team that went 22-20 last year, and 11-9 in Conference Carolinas. The 0-1 from Richardson is in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Delaney Byers. As a team, the Warriors hitting just .246 on the season. But their pitching's been very stout so far. A 1.88 earned run average through 12 games. The windup and the 1-1 pitch is fouled away, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 the count to Delaney Byers. Lydia Clanton, the right fielder, waits on deck. Richardson with the windup and the 1-2 pitch. In the dirt, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes the count to Delaney Byers. Richardson with the windup and the 2-2 delivery. Inside corner, another called strike 3. So back-to-back strikeouts for Ivy Richardson here in the top of the first inning. And with 2 outs and nobody on base, it'll bring up the right fielder, Lydia Clanton. Clanton, the top hitter for the Warriors so far this season, a .344 hitter, home run, 2 runs batted in. 11 for 32 at the plate is Lydia Clanton. Sophomore out of Waynesboro, Mississippi. First pitch is low for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Clanton. Clanton last season made a splash as a freshman, hit .398, 7 home runs, 34 RBIs. He was also hit by 12 pitches, walked 20 times. And she's a career .386 hitter for these Southern Wesleyan Warriors. This one is flared foul past first base. 1 ball and 1 strike the count to Lydia Clanton. Clanton last season was the Conference Carolinas Freshman of the Year. She was the first team All-Conference selection and was second team All-Region. She was also the NCCAA All-Region and All-American. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to Clanton. Hit towards first. Gramp has it right at the bag, and she'll step on the base for the 3rd out of the inning. So 2 strikeouts and a ground out for Richardson in the top of the first inning. Nothing doing for the Warriors. We head to the bottom of the first inning. It's Tusculum coming to bat. No score on the Pioneer Sports Network.
The first date. Only one chance to make that first impression. Don't worry. This might be new for you, but Ingalls has been there before. From flowers to the freshest ingredients, we have everything you need to put your best foot forward.
I'm so sorry.
Remember, you can't get to happily ever after without once upon a time.
Wow, it's funny running into
Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
On the first inning coming up here at Pioneer Edmonds Field, as it's no score between Tusculum and Southern Wesleyan. Making the start for the Warriors today is the right-hander, Delaney Laudenbacher. Laudenbacher, a junior out of Due West, South Carolina, transfer from Anderson University. Laudenbacher this season for the Warriors as my internet goes down, just as I was about to tell you her statistics for the season. There we go.
Right fielder, 0-0, Anna Alloway.
Anyway, Laudenbacher is making her 5th start of the season, her 8th appearance. She's 3-1 with a 0.99 earned run average, 28 1/3 innings, just 12 hits, 4 earned runs. She's walked 10 and struck out 35 in 28 1/3 innings. Has Delaney Laudenbacher, the starting pitcher for these Southern Wesleyan Warriors, and she'll have to go up against the hottest hitter maybe in the country as Anna Alloway steps in for the Pioneers. And takes called strike. Alloway hitting .556. She's 20 for 36. 4 home runs, 15 runs batted in, 18 runs scored in 12 games, also 8 walks, and a stolen base. As she's been sensational so far for the Pioneers, takes that one outside a ball and a strike. Laudenbacher last season for Southern Wesleyan pitched in 20 starts, 29 games overall, 9-9 record, a 4.32 earned run average last year for Laudenbacher, who struck out 65 in 118 innings, and this one's grounded foul. The pass coach Julie Hubner is unable to make the play. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Anna Alloway. Alloway will be followed by Alexis Gramp and Taylor Johnson here in the bottom of the first inning with no score here at Red Edmonds Field, game 1 of our softball doubleheader this afternoon. Glad you could join us on the Pioneer Sports Network. The windup, the 1-2 to Alloway, is hit to right field. Tracking back is the right fielder, Clanton, and she will make the catch for the out. So Alloway retired on a fly ball to right, 1 down here in the first. And they'll bring up the first baseman, Alexis Gramp.
Number 33, Alexis Gramp.
Gramp is hitting .364 on the season. She has 3 home runs, 16 runs batted in. She's 16 for 44 at the plate with 5 doubles and 2 triples along with those 3 home runs. First pitch to Gramp is taken low for a ball. Gramp, a senior out of Harrison, Tennessee, by way of Chipola College, graduated from Chattanooga Central High School. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Alexis Gramp. The pitch to her. It's on the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. One to 1 the count to Alexis Gramp. Laudenbacher's pitch is taken for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Alexis Gramp. One 2 pitch, cued foul, still 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes to count to Alexis Gramp. The windup and the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss and a high fastball. Down goes Gramp. First strikeout for Laudenbacher. 2 outs here in the first inning. Taylor Johnson, the shortstop, will bat. Johnson hitting .325. She's 13 for 40 at the plate. 2 home runs, 7 runs batted in. Johnson, the senior out of Spring Hill, Tennessee, Independence High School. She'll take that one outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes count to Taylor Johnson. Johnson, a career .338 hitter, and adds a point to that as she grounds a single into left field. So Johnson is a 2-out base runner, first hit of the game, first base runner of the game. And Grayson Brown, the third baseman, will bat. Brown hitting .273, 9 hits and 33 at bats, a home run, 6 runs batted in. She's tied for the team lead in walks with 8. Brown, senior out of Hickson, Tennessee, Soddy Daisy High School by way of Cleveland State. And she hits this one into shallow center field, but lining up is the center fielder Collins, and she makes the catch, and the side is retired. A hit and 1 left. We've finished 1 full inning of game 1 of our doubleheader. And the Tennessee East Tennessee today. A beautiful day for softball, and it's Tusculum nothing and Southern Wesleyan nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you?
We got lunch.
To us, it means the people you care about, look out for, and yeah, love. Even if you'd never let them hear you say it.
Hey, you're eating hummus?
What's wrong with hummus?
Here at Ingalls, we have everything you need to gather around the table and give each other a hard time. Because that's what families do. Ingalls. All the ingredients for family.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Hello, my name is Jacob Fate, and I'm the Dean of the College of Business at Tusculum University. I'm proud to share with you.
No scores. We head to the top of the second inning. It's the 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up for Southern Wesleyan, with the catcher Megan New starting things here in the top of the second inning. Facing right-hander Ivy Richardson, who retired at the side 1, 2, 3 in the top of the first.
Catcher number 10, Megan New.
New on the season, hitting .207. She's 6 for 29 at the plate with 5 runs batted in. New is a junior out of Anderson, South Carolina. Last season, New a .329 hitter in 27 starts with 9 runs batted in. Richardson's first pitch to her is on the outside corner for strike one. One strike the count to Megan New. She'll be followed by Jalea Sanford and Taylor Lee here in the top of the second inning. Wind blowing from left to right here at Red Edmonds Field. It is pleasant today. Temperatures in the low 60s. That one is fouled away. No balls and 2 strikes. We had rain yesterday, but it's moved out of the area for now. We do not expect any rain today. Tomorrow is a little different story, which is why we're playing today, because tomorrow's forecast was bad, and the Pioneers able to get this game moved up a day and reschedule the UVA-Wise conference doubleheader for next week. The 0-2 pitch is in the dirt, 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's been a little bit of a battle with the Pioneers' schedule so far this season. A lot of rescheduled games. Dates have been moved around. Opponents that have changed. A little bit of everything so far, but the team has responded with all the adversity of the weather and gone off to a 10-2 start this season. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count to New, and this one is line foul to the right side. Still a ball and 2 strikes. This coming weekend, the Pioneers were supposed to play Goldie Beacom as part of a set where Goldie Beacom was going to come into town, play Mars Hill here Friday, Tusculum Saturday here, and then Carson Newman here on Sunday. But the meetings, all the games have been scrubbed from the schedule. Goldie Beacom will not be able to make the trip, so this weekend now wide open for the Pioneers as it's popped up to first base, and Grant makes the catch just inside the foul line for the first out of the second inning. So after today, the Pioneers won't be back in action until next Tuesday when they open up their conference schedule on the road at UVA-Wise. It'll be their first meeting as a conference opponent with the Cavaliers, who joined the South Atlantic Conference this season. UVA-Wise off to a 5-7 start on the year. Tusculum, one of 6 teams in the South Atlantic Conference, already in double digits in wins. Jalea Sanford, the third baseman, batting here for the Warriors with 1 out. Sanford hitting .148. She's 4 for 27 at the plate with a home run, 8 runs batted in. Sanford, also out of Anderson, South Carolina, junior. One ball and no strikes the count. Richardson's pitch is taken for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 the count to Jalea Sanford. The count. And Richardson will come with the pitch. That is outside. 3 balls and no strikes. 3-0 the count to Sanford, who has walked 4 times this season. Richardson has walked 6 in now 24 innings of work. The wind up in the pitch, right there for a strike. Sanford, right-handed hitter, back in the box. Richardson with the delivery. Outside for ball 4. So a 1-out walk, the first base runner for the Warriors. And the left fielder Taylor Lee will bat.
Left fielder number 13, Taylor Lee.
Lee, a .259 hitter. No home runs, 3 runs batted in, 7 for 27 with a double. She has also stolen 6 bases in 12 games. Lee, a left-handed batter, sophomore out of Houston, Texas. Richardson with the first pitch to her is fouled away, 1 strike. Lee last year a .259 batting average, 11 runs batted in, and 7 stolen bases in 10 attempts. One strike the count to Taylor Lee. Runner goes and stops. Pitch is taken for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Sanford, the runner at first base, does have 4 stolen bases in 4 attempts. One ball, 1 strike, the count to Taylor Lee. This one is slapped to short. Johnson to France, on to first, no chance to get Lee on the ground ball, but out at second, 6-4, and Lee's on at first base with 2 outs. The first baseman, Kelly Berrigan.
The first baseman, number 9, Callie Berrigan.
Berrigan, a senior out of Goose Creek, South Carolina. One of 2 seniors on the roster, along with Riley Herlitzka, the shortstop who bats next. Berrigan on the year has played in 8 games. She's had just 10 at-bats, but she has 4 hits and 3 RBIs, a .400 batting average. Check swing, and it's fouled down the first baseline, 1 strike. Berrigan last year started 41 games, hit .222, a home run, 9 runs batted in. Very veteran team here for the Warriors. No freshmen in the starting lineup. Tusculum with 1 freshman starter. That one's inside for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Callie Berrigan. The windup by Richardson. And the 1-1 pitch. Runner goes. The pitch is a strike. The throw is into center field. Lee is going to try and take third. The throw in from West as Brown comes off the bag to make the play. Stolen base and then E2 on Freischmidt on the throw allows Lee to move to third. The pitch was a strike. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Callie Berrigan. So a throwing error on the Pioneer catcher. Freischmidt allows the runner to move up to third base. 1-2 the count to Callie Berrigan. Richardson's 1-2 pitch outside, 2-2. Said Tusculum had a 5-game winning streak coming into play today. Southern Wesleyan has won 6 in a row. Two and 2 the count to Berrigan. Pitch is fouled away, still 2-2. On Saturday, The Warriors swept a doubleheader from Talladega College, winning 12-4 and 15-1. First time this season that Southern Wesleyan had gotten into double figures in scoring. Allowed just 8 runs in these 6 straight victories. 2-2 the count to Berrigan. Richardson's pitch is off the plate, 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the second inning. Riley Hrdlicka, the shortstop, waits on deck. Richardson with the 3-2 delivery. Inside, ball 4. Second walk of the inning issued by Richardson. And runners down at the corners with 2 outs for the shortstop, Riley Hrdlicka.
The shortstop, number 34, Riley Hrdlicka.
Hrdlicka on the season has a .294 batting average. She's 5 for 17 at the plate with 5 runs batted in. Hrdlicka, a senior out of Slidell, Louisiana. Last season, started just 14 games, was 2 for 16 at the plate. Richardson's first pitch to her with the runner going. It's fouled away, 1 strike. And Southern Wesleyan very aggressive on the base paths, 34 steals in 12 games. Their opponents have stolen 12 bases. Tusculum, by contrast, has stolen 14 bases in 12 games. One strike the count to Riley Hrdlicka. Pitch. Cued foul, 0-2. The ball's in 2 strikes to Riley Hrdlicka. Addie Nugent, the number 9 hitter, the designated player, waits on deck. Wind-up by Richardson and the 0-2 pitch. The runner goes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Third strikeout of the game for Ivy Richardson, and she works in and out of trouble here in the second inning. No runs, no hits, an error, and 2 left on base. Middle of the second, it's Tusculum nothing, Southern Wesleyan nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network.
The programs in the College of Business received accreditation through ACBSP in December of 2018. The Accreditation Council for Business Schools and Programs accredits business schools and programs worldwide. This accreditation elevates our programs to the top programs worldwide.
Tusculum University is Tennessee's first university. Established in 1794, Tusculum's beautiful campus is nestled in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Students from 31 states and 15 countries have found a home here. With nearly 60 areas of study, Tusculum can help you pioneer your path to success.
Heading to the bottom of the second inning, no score in game 1 of our doubleheader between Tusculum and Southern Wesleyan. Jim Miller with you here on the Pioneer Sports Network. Our producer today is Zach Hartle. Glad you could join us for doubleheader action. First of 2, no score yet. Just 1 hit in the game so far, and that came from the Pioneers in the bottom of the first inning on a 2-out single by Taylor Johnson.
The catcher, number 14,
Leading off the bottom of the
Chloe
second inning
Freischmidt.
for the Pioneers is catcher Chloe Freischmidt. Freischmidt, the reigning Southland Conference Player of the Week. She had a big week last week. For the season, hitting .364, 3 home runs, 16 runs batted in. She's tied for the team lead in RBIs with Alexis Gramp, and 11 of those RBIs came over the weekend. In 4 games against Cedarville and Davis and Elkins, all Freischmidt did at the plate was go 6 for 11 with 2 grand slams, 2 doubles, and 11 RBIs in 4 games. Outside for a ball, 1 ball, 2 balls and no strikes to count to Chloe Freischmidt. Freischmidt, the Pioneer starting catcher this season, a sophomore out of Naples, Florida. Freischmidt also scored 5 runs in those 4 games. The pitch to her. It's chopped foul towards the Tusculum dugout. 2 balls and 1 strike to count to Freischmidt. She'll be followed by Sammy West and Claire Crute here in the bottom of the second inning. So Freischmidt, West, and Kraut due up for the Pioneers here in the bottom of the second inning. Wind up at the 2-1 pitch. Popped up. Foul. It's going to be out of play. As the third baseman Sanford took a look along with the catcher, knew, but he was out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count to Chloe Freischmidt. Freischmidt, one of 5 Pioneers with home runs this season. 4 of them have hit more than 1. Laudenbacher's 2-2 pitch is cut on a miss, and that's the second strikeout of the game for Delaney Laudenbacher. 1 down here in the second.
Number 3, Sammy West.
Sammy West will bat for the Pioneers. West, .316 average, no home runs, 9 runs batted in. 12 for 38 at the plate. She has 11 runs scored and leads the team in stolen bases with 6. She bunts it down the first baseline. Charging and throwing on to first base is Berrigan, and covering on the play was the second baseman Byers for the out. So West retired 3-4 on the bunt attempt for the second out of the second inning. Claire Kraut, the designated player, will bat.
Number 9, Claire Kraut.
Kraut, the freshman out of Candler, North Carolina, making her 4th start of the season. She's 2 for 8 at the plate. With 1 run batted in, she takes a strike there. A couple walks, a couple strikeouts for Kraut. The 0-1 pitch to her is cut on a miss, strike 2. Coach Julie Hubner has kind of rotated among that DP and left field spots this season. The 0-2 pitch is just off the plate, 1-2. Pretty much a fixed lineup otherwise, and has just run some players through those 8 and 9 spots, the bottom couple spots in the lineup, and left field and DP. 1-2 pitch is off the plate, 2-2. Tori West getting the start in left field today, making her 3rd start of the season. Bree Whitson, Ashley Harbison, Caitlin Brinkley, and Kristen Gass all have gotten starts as well. 2-2 pitch, low, 3-2. So 0-2 to 3-2 for Claire Kraut with 2 outs and nobody on base here in the second inning. The windup by Laudenbacher, and that pitch is fouled away, still 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count to Claire Kraut. Brittany France waits on deck. Wind up 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. 3rd strikeout for Laudenbacher, first looking. And it's a 1-2-3 second inning for the Pioneers. We head to the 3rd. Southern Wesleyan and Tusculum scoreless on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Success. Visit www.tusculum.edu or call 423-636-7300 to discover the Pioneer experience for yourself.
We are in Granger County, Tennessee, here at Pierce Farms, and the Pierce family has been working with Ingalls for over 30 years. It means a great deal supplying produce as a local farmer. It really touches base knowing that we're just simple people just trying to help, and we love what we do. And Ingalls is a huge part of helping us do it. Farming is who we are, and it's in our blood. God has really blessed us with the sun and the soil to grow the best tomatoes you'll find anywhere. I believe it's really in the soil. So if you're in Granger County and you farm tomatoes, then you're in. Just a great.
Getting ready for the top of the 3rd inning here at Red Emmons Field. No score between Tusculum and Southern Wesleyan in Game 1 of our doubleheader this afternoon. Elsewhere in the South Atlantic Conference schedule, Mars Hill playing a doubleheader at King. And also Carson Newman on the road for a doubleheader with North Greenville. We'll get score updates on those games. We get set to go to the top of the 3rd inning. Leading off for the Warriors will be the designated player Addie Nugent.
The designated player, number 8, Addie Nugent.
Nugent, a 158 hitter this season, 3 for 19. Her hits are a single, a triple, and a home run. She's knocked in 2 runs. Nugent is junior out of Rockledge, Florida. Last season hit .324 in 23 starts with 2 homers and 10 runs batted in. Ivy Richardson, who's yet to allow a hit through 2 innings. First pitch is outside for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. It'll be Nugent, Collins, and Byers here in the third of this scoreless game. Richardson with the 1-0 pitch. On the outside corner, strike one. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Addie Nugent. Game 1 of the doubleheader at King. The Tornado beat Mars Hill 12-4. King with the win. Now Mars Hill drops to 1-6 on the season with the loss. 1-1 pitch. Slap to third. Brown will throw across to Gramp in time for the out. One down here in the third. And Emma Collins, the center fielder, will bat. Collins struck out looking to lead off the ball game. Richardson ready to go back to work here against Collins. And the first pitch hit to right field. Alloway giving chase towards the fence, and she can't play it as it's off the fence in play. Having to track it out in right field is the second baseman, France, as Alloway is down in right field. And very quickly, the Tusculum training staff is making its way out to the area, coaching staff as well. It is going to be a triple. As that ball was hit to the fence, Alloway got there, and as she went to make the play, the ball was in play off the fence, and Collins makes it all the way to third base. That'll be a triple for Collins, but of more important concern right now is Alloway down in right field. The training staff continuing to work on Alloway along with the coaching staff. That ball was sliced to right field and it just kept carrying. Good sign is that Alloway is up. And I bet that she'd do anything to stay in the ball game if she can. I just need to recover from making contact with the fence. It's just a chain link fence out there in right field with the windscreen over it. But you can get yourself caught in there and see what happens with Alloway here as she's getting herself checked out here one last time. It looks like she's going to be coming in. And it looks like it's going to be a substitution here for the Pioneers. Way she's carrying her arm there, maybe she may have hit the fence and had a possible dislocation there, the way that she's walking off the field. So she will go to the dugout. Alloway had been off to a great start this season. 4 home runs and a .556 average, but she's going into the dugout area now. Just because she's heading into the dugout doesn't mean that we'll see. Have not seen any replacement yet. Have not seen Coach Hubner talk to the umpire yet. Now she's having a discussion there, and he has his lineup card out, so it looks like we'll have a substitution for the Pioneers. With 1 out here in the top of the third inning. That was the first hit of the game for Southern Wesleyan. For Collins, a 3-base hit, her second of the season. So we continue to wait and see what happens from the Pioneer dugout. One out here in the top of the third inning. Delaney Byers will be the batter for the Warriors, with a runner at third base and one out. Continue to wait and see what is happening with the Pioneers. And it's Alloway. How about that? She just gets herself wrapped up and she's ready to go. So that's a good sign for the Pioneers, as Alloway just got her elbow wrapped up and she's ready to pack out there. Shades of Willis Reed. So a good sign as Alloway will retake her position in right field after she went down hitting the fence.
The second baseman, number 14, Delaney Byers.
So Delaney Byers batting now after the delay. She struck out looking her first time up. First pitch from Richardson is taken for a called strike. One strike, the count to Delaney Byers. Richardson with the 0-1 pitch. Hit towards short. Johnson's going to play it on a hop, looks the runner back, throws across the runner trying to score. The throw to the plate, and she is out! Great play by Alexis Gramp as she recovers after the throw to first base and the tag at the plate, and it is a double play as Collins is thrown out at the plate by Gramp 3-2 after the 6-3 ground out. So the top of the third inning is over in a most exciting fashion. No runs in the inning, one hit, and nobody left on base. Middle of the third, it is Tusculum nothing and Southern Wesleyan nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Blessing on us to actually farm and be able to farm and to supply tomatoes to people. And Ingalls really cares about family farms like Pierce Farms, and they really care about their customers. We're just glad to be a part of that. God has blessed us with a really great partnership there. They make fresh local produce have real meaning for lots of people. I'm Shane Pierce, and this is my Ingalls story.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses.
Bottom of the third inning here at Red Emmons Field. As Pioneers got out of the top of the third inning unscathed, Brittany France will lead off the bottom of the third inning for the Pioneers. France, second baseman, hitting .212. She's 7 for 33 at the plate. 3 doubles, a triple, 6 runs batted in for France. Takes called strike. France, a junior out of Knoxville, Powell High School. The 0-1 pitch to her hits her on the elbow, or the hand more like, and France is a leadoff base runner here in the third. So France takes one for the team, and she'll take first base to start the inning. And Tori West, the left fielder, will bat. West is off to a great start this season, 4 for 4 at the plate with 2 walks. She scored 2 runs and had a double as well. Making her third start of the season, West, the junior out of Knoxville's Farragut High School, drops the bunt, and she is going to be called out for stepping into the box on the bunt attempt. So 2 unassisted on the out, and West is out for the first out. So a tough break there for West, who had been perfect at the plate this year, and gets called out for interference on the bunt attempt. With 1 out, the right fielder Anna Alloway will bat. Alloway had a very eventful top of the third inning as she went into the fence on trying to catch a fly ball, and after getting taped up, she's back out there. And she takes that one for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Alloway flied out to right her first time up. Alloway entering play today, .556 batting average this season. For the right fielder, junior out of Louisville, Tennessee's Maryville High School. 1-0 pitch to her, outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Alloway now with 104 career hits in 100 career games. 15 of them left the ballpark. Two balls and no strikes to count to Anna Alloway. This one is skied foul out of play, 2 balls and a strike. Alloway this season has hit safely in all but 1 game. That was young Harris when she was 0 for 2. She has 9 two-hit games this year. And home runs against Converse, Belmont Abbey, Erskine, and Cedarville. And she scored a run in 10 out of 12 games as well. The 2-1 pitch is outside, 3 balls and a strike. Anna Alloway, she's done that a lot too. She walked 8 times, but she's not walked any times in her last 6 games. The teams at the beginning of the season showed her a lot of respect, and they've been pitching to her a little bit more freely the last few games, or she's been swinging more aggressively at the plate. 3-1 pitch. This one's hit to right. It's going to be playable for the right fielder who gets underneath it. That's Clanton for the second out. And retreating to first base is France, where she remains with 2 outs here in the third inning. Alexis Gramp steps up. Gramp struck out her first time up. 1 of 3 strikeouts in the ballgame for Laudenbach. Batting here with a runner at first and 2 outs. Shows bunt. France is stealing, and she will steal second base easily. Stolen base for France is her first of the season. So France is on second base now with 2 outs. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Alexis Gramp. Gramp last season hit .247, 4 homers. Four home runs, 18 RBIs last year as they appealed to see if she offered at the pitch, which she did not. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Gramp with the runner in scoring position. Flown away, 2 balls and no strikes. Gramp hit 4 homers last year, already 3 home runs this season. Gramp was 4 for 4 Saturday in the game 1 against Cedarville with a home run. That's outside, 3 balls and no strikes. Gramp also 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs and a win over Claflin. 2 for 4 with 4 RBIs and a home run against Converse. Batting here with a 3 ball and no strike count. Laudenbacher's pitch is taken for a strike, 3-1. 3 balls and a strike to count to Alexis Gramp with Taylor Johnson, the shortstop, waiting on deck. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning, no score. 1 hit apiece. 3-1 pitch is ball 4. So Gramp, showing the eye at the plate, draws the walk. Her 4th walk of the season. Runners now at first and second for Taylor Johnson, who has the only hit of the game for the Pioneers. As we'll have a discussion here at the circle. Give me a chance to talk about Taylor Johnson a little bit. Johnson started her career at shortstop, became third baseman, did a little catching, now back at shortstop this season. Johnson 2 home runs so far this season. For her career, she has hit 19 home runs. Or check that, 18 home runs. 103 career RBIs, 163 career hits. She'll be chasing 200 career hits.
Shortstop, number 20, Taylor Johnson.
Johnson hit almost 400 as a freshman, 300 in the last couple years, and is at 325 this year. First pitch to her, fouled away right side. 1 strike to count to Taylor Johnson, who also has 35 career doubles. Just 1 triple, though, came last season. Pitch is in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. For the record, since you were asking, who did she hit the triple off of? It was against Converse last season. Now you know. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Taylor Johnson. The pitch is taken for a ball, 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike, the count to Taylor Johnson, with Grayson Brown, the third baseman, waiting on deck. Lundbacher's 2-1 pitch is popped up, foul, out of play, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count. Two-two pitch, popped up towards third. Sanford in foul territory makes the catch, and the inning is over. A walk, a hit batsman, 2 left, but nothing across for the Pioneers in the third. We go to the top of the 4th inning in game 1 of our doubleheader with Tusculum and Southern Wesleyan scoreless on the Pioneer Sports
For
Network.
our causes, in our careers, we rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
From the first day, we looked around each other and we said, we gotta go make things happen this year.
It doesn't matter what the score is at the end of the game. You have to go forward.
You have to take the game.
Attacking gets you goals real quick.
Give your best effort every day.
Up to the top of the 4th inning in game 1 of our doubleheader. No score between Tusculum and Southern Wesleyan, both teams with 1 hit apiece. Ivy Richardson has worked 3 innings so far. She struck out 3, walked 2. Delaney Lundbacher for Southern Wesleyan has struck out 3 batters, walked 1, hit a batter, and given up a hit. No score so far as we go to the 4th. Best chance to score in the game was in the top of the 3rd inning as Collins tripled off the fence in right field and then tried to score on a ground out to short, but Alexis Graham's throw to the plate, Chloe Freischmidt's tag, got the runner Collins at home for the 3rd out of the inning as the Pioneers turned away the Warriors scoreless. Lydia Clanton will lead off for the Warriors. She grounded out to first back in the 1st inning. 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up for Southern Wesleyan here in the top of the 4th inning.
The right fielder, number 20, Lydia Clanton.
Back to work is Richardson here in the top of the 4th inning. The windup in the first pitch to Clanton. It's hit past third base Brown into left field for a base hit. Second hit of the game for the Warriors. First hit of the game for Clanton, and she is the leadoff base runner here in the 4th inning.
The catcher, number 10, Megan New.
Megan New, the catcher, steps in. New popped up to first base, her first time up. First time in the game that Southern Wesleyan has got its leadoff hitter on base. Richardson's first delivery is there for a strike. Cloudy skies here, but just check the radar. There's no rain supposedly in the area. We'll believe that when we see it. 1 strike the count here to New. And that's a strike as well, 0-2. So quickly, Richardson ahead, no balls and 2 strikes to Megan New, the catcher for Southern Wesleyan. She checks with head coach Coy Adkins down at third base, assuming that is Coach Adkins. It is. No balls and 2 strikes to count. The pitch. Cued foul. Still 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Megan New. Clanton, the runner at first base, had 7 stolen bases last year in 9 attempts. This season, she's 2 for 2. Richardson ready to go with the 0-2 pitch. In the dirt, blocked by Freischmidt, a ball and 2 strikes. One ball and 2 strikes to count to Megan New. Jalea Sanford, the third baseman, waits on deck. Richardson's 1-2 pitch. Back to the box. Richardson fumbles it. Now she'll have to recover and throw on to first in time for the out. Looked like she may have been thinking about trying to go to second to get the lead runner Clanton, but when she fumbled the ball, that put that to rest. So she went on to first and got the out on New
The third baseman, number 3,
for the first out of the
Jalea
inning.
Sanford.
So with Clanton on to second base, it'll bring up the third baseman, Jalea Sanford. Sanford walked her first time up and was erased on a fielder's choice. Richardson ready to go. Stares at the target. And the delivery. Inside corner, strike 1. 1 strike the count to Jalea Sanford. The windup and the 0-1 pitch. Low, 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 the count to Sanford. Richardson comes with the 1-1. Hit foul down the right side, 1 ball and 2 strikes. One and 2 the count to Sanford. One ball, 2 strikes. And Richardson with the pitch. Low and outside, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count to Jalea Sanford. Two-two pitch, low and in, 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count. Richardson with the rock and the 3-2 pitch. Chopped to short. Johnson's got the out in front of her, and she'll take it to third, and they get the runner trying to advance Clanton as Johnson had the play right in front of her, tossed to Brown at third base. And the second time that the Warriors have had a runner thrown out on the base paths. Sanford is safe at first on the fielder's choice. 2 outs now in the inning, and the left fielder Taylor Lee will bat. Lee hit into a fielder's choice her first time up and stole a base. A good play there by Taylor Johnson to get the out. First pitch is outside for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. One ball and no strikes the count to Taylor Lee. 1-0 pitch is in the dirt, blocked by Freischmidt. Sanford took a couple steps off first base, but retreats. Two balls and no strikes to count to Lee. Kelly Berrigan, the first baseman, waits on deck. Runner goes, the pitch is a strike, the throw to second, in time for the out. Freischmidt down to France, and she applies the tag. And another base running out on the base paths for the Warriors. The third runner they've had thrown out on the bases in this game, second in the inning. In fact, 3 of the last 4 outs have been on the base paths for the Warriors. A hit, but nobody left in the top of the 4th inning. Halfway through game 1, it's Tusculum and Southern Wesleyan scoreless on the Pioneer Sports Network.
2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Stouffer with the game-winning goal. The national championship goes to Shippensburg for the 3rd consecutive year.
Bottom of the 4th inning here at Red Emmons Field. No score between Tusculum and Southern Wesleyan. Pioneers with 1 hit so far in 3 innings against pitcher Delaney Laudenbacher. Grayson Brown will lead off for the Pioneers here in the 4th. Brown flied to center her first time up. Brown, Freischmidt, and West, Sammy West, due up here in the bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch to Brown is lined towards left field, and making the catch is the left fielder Lee. As it was hit right to her, she had to take 1 step to her right, and she makes the catch for the first out of the 4th inning. Sometimes those balls can just hang up there and play over the left fielder. Lee stuck with it and made the catch for the out. So Chloe Freischmidt will bat. Freischmidt struck out swinging her first time up. Swings and misses at this pitch. From Laudenbacher, 1 strike. One strike to count to Chloe Freischmidt, the Southland Conference Player of the Week this week. She hits that one to the right side, past the diving second baseman Byers in right field. For a base hit, 2nd hit of the game for the Pioneers. First hit by Freischmidt, and she's a 1-out base runner here in the 4th.
Center fielder, number 3, Sammy West.
Sammy West, the center fielder, will bat. West was out attempting to bunt her first time up. West, the senior out of Maiden, North Carolina. 4-year starter for the Pioneers. Started at shortstop for this season and now is taken over in center field. Shades of her predecessor in center field, Morgan Mahaffey, who was a second baseman and converted into an outstanding center fielder. West trying to make the same conversion. The first pitch to her is taken for a strike. West, 100 career runs scored now for the Pioneers, 148 hits. Career .326 hitter, 6 home runs, and 33 stolen bases. That pitch is a strike, no balls and 2 strikes to count to Sammy West. West homered 4 times as a freshman, once each of the last 2 years. 1-2 pitch, outside, 1-2. Freischmidt, the runner at first base, does have 1 stolen base. The 1-2 pitch. Line to right center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. It'll split the outfielders and go off the fence. Freischmidt rounding third. Hubner sends her, and the throw is going to be late as Freischmidt scores standing on the RBI triple by Sammy West, and the Pioneers take a 1-0 lead here in the 4th. West's 3rd triple of the season, her 10th run batted in, and the Pioneers have the lead 1-0 here in the 4th.
Designated player number 9, Claire Kraut.
as West split the gap between the outfielders, and with her speed had no problem legging that out into a triple, and Freischmidt scores standing from first base as Pioneers lead it 1-0 here in the fourth. Claire Kraut will bat with the runner at third. She struck out looking her first time up. She'll have a discussion with Coach Hubner. Pioneers have evolved from a team that used to be heavily reliant on the sacrifice bunt, a team that's more reliant on its power now. Tusculum with just 6 sacrifice bunts through 12 games. That was a good doubleheader about 5 years ago. So Crown batting with the runner at third. The infield about halfway, and the first pitch to Crown is taken for a strike. 1 strike to count to Claire Crown, who has knocked in 1 run this season. Next pitch to her is hit to short. West coming all the way, and they're going to take the out at first base. As coming in to score is West. As Kraut gets the job done, she made contact, put the ball in play, and drives in a run. And the Pioneers lead it 2-0. Good job of hitting there by Claire Kraut, the freshman. As she drives in the run, it's 2-0 Pioneers. So West with the triple, and then scores on the ground out. It's 2-0 Pioneers here in the fourth. Brittany France will bat. France was hit by a pitcher first time up and stole a base. Tusculum batters have now been hit 15 times this season. Taking it for a ball on the outside corner, 1 ball and no strikes. Tusculum pitchers have only hit 2 batters. One ball and no strikes to count to Brittany France. Taken for a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. One and 1 the count to France. That is taken for a ball, 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 1 the count to France. Popped up shallow right field. Clanton is there and makes the catch for the third out. But the Pioneers get 2 runs in the inning, 2 hits, and nobody left on base. We head to the top of the 5th inning, and Tusculum leads Southern Wesleyan 2-0 in Game 1 of our doubleheader on Pioneer Sports Network.
Valdosta State Division II National Champions.
Off to the top of the 5th inning in Game 1 of our doubleheader, with Tusculum leading Southern Wesleyan by a score of 2-0. Pioneers 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error. For Southern Wesleyan, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. Ivy Richardson has shut down the Warriors through 4 innings. Taylor Lee, who was batting when Sanford was caught stealing to end the top of the 4th, will start over a new count here as we go to the top of the 5th inning. Pioneer pitching this season has 1 shutout. That came in the 2nd game of the year against Converse, a 9-0 5-inning victory. Pioneers have 5 wins by run rule this season. 5 of their 10 wins have come by 5 innings by run rule. They also have an extra inning victory over Erskine. So Lee steps in here against Richardson to start the top of the 5th inning. The first pitch swung on a cued foul, 1 strike to Taylor Lee. Lee, Berrigan, and Hrdlicka here in the 5th. Ivy Richardson with the 0-1 pitch. Outside and low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Tusculum, one of 6 teams in the conference with double digits in wins already. Lincoln Memorial's 11-1. Lenore Ryan and Newberry both 14-2. Coker's 11-2. Anderson 10-4, and Tusculum at 10-2. One pitch. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. One of Tusculum's losses coming to Young Harris, which is currently number 1 in the country. They were number 5 at the time the Pioneers played them, a 10-2 loss. Tusculum's other loss coming to Lander by a 7-1 score. In fact, those losses were back-to-back days, back-to-back games. 2 balls and a strike to count to Lee. And that one is hit foul. 2-2 the count to Taylor Lee, sophomore out of Houston, Texas. And Richardson ready to go back to work here with a 2-2 count. Wind up in the 2-2 pitch. Hit to third, past Brown. Johnson's going to have to hurry to throw across, not in time. Johnson's got a great arm and good throw, but did they get her out? Or is it a hit? They're throwing the... It's so an out, and I believe it's going to be possibly for out of the box. We'll take a look.
Number 9, Callie Berrigan.
I'll take a look at it here on my replay and see if the umpire had a call here. Yes, the home plate umpire called her out for being out of the box. So it's 2 unassisted, and the pitch is taken for a ball. One ball and no strikes to count to Berrigan. This one's hit to third. Brown with the play and the throw across in time for the out. As that ball was hit sharply, and Brown stayed down on it and made the play across for the out. So 2 up and 2 down here in the 5th. And Riley Herlitzka, the shortstop, will bat.
Riley Herlitzka.
On that ball that Lee hit, we're following the ball and not seeing the umpire. On the replay, it was very obvious that the home plate umpire came out from behind home plate and had called the play dead on her being out of the box, which it appeared that she was. So that is a batter off the base paths, and the pitch is 1 strike to Riley Herlitzka, who struck out swinging her first time up. So a break there for the Pioneers as Lee had beaten that one easily, despite a strong throw from Johnson at shortstop. 0-1 the count to Herlitzka. Richardson's pitch, line to right field. Alloway charges. She'll play it on the hop as Herlitzka runs through the bag and gets the base hit. 3rd hit of the game for the Warriors. And Herlitzka is a 2-out base runner for the designated player, Addie Nugent. Nugent grounded to 3rd her first time up.
Designated player number 8, Addie Nugent.
Each team's had a batter called out for being out of the box. Tori West back in the 3rd inning for the Pioneers as she tried to bunt, and Lee here in the 5th. So Nugent will bat to turn the lineup over. Number 9 hitter in the lineup for the Warriors. Pitch is outside for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. One ball and no strikes to count to Addie Nugent. Herlitzka, the runner at first base. And the ball in the hole. Johnson shows off the arm, and the throw is wide of the base. That'll be a base hit for Nugent, who, batting out of the left-handed batter's box, had the advantage there and beats it out for a base hit. So back-to-back singles for the Warriors. They have 2 on and 2 out for the center fielder, Emma
number
Collins.
15, Emma Collins.
Collins, the leadoff batter for Southern Wesleyan, has struck out looking and tripled off the fence in right. I believe we're going to have a pinch runner. Leaving the field for the moment will be the shortstop, Herdlitzka. She'll leave for the pinch runner, Haley Birdie, freshman out of Bronson, Florida. So Birdie will pinch run.
Pinch running for the Warriors, number 99, Haley Birdie.
This gives Coach Julie Hubner a chance to come out and talk to her team and try and keep this inning from ballooning on them a little bit here, as they've got the leadoff batter at the plate in Collins. Seen this situation before, up 2-0 in the 5th with 2 on and 2 out. And we'll hope that history doesn't repeat itself. So Collins will step in. Collins, a .273 hitter, 7 runs batted in for the year. Birdie, the runner at second, Nugent on at first. Wind up in the pitch. Inside for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Richardson with the 1-0 pitch. Is there for a strike, 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count to Emma Collins. Richardson with the delivery. Low, 2-1. 2 balls and a strike, the count to Emma Collins. Richardson has walked 2 and allowed 4 hits. 2 of those hits in this inning to back-to-back batters. Richardson has struck out 3 so far. 2-1 the count and the pitch. Inside, 3-1. Delaney Byers, the second baseman, waits on deck. Byers is 0 for 2. Three and 1 the count to Emma Collins. Richardson's 3-1. There, the letters, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count, the runners will be off with the delivery. 2 outs here in the 5th inning, and Tusculum leading 2-0. Richardson ready to go with the 3-2 pitch. Inside, ball 4. And the bases are loaded with 2 outs. 2 hits and a walk. And the bases are loaded for Delaney Byers. He is second baseman.
Number 14,
Byers has
Delaney
struck out
Byers.
and grounded out. Byers entered play today, hitting .313 with 5 runs batted in. And batting here in a big spot for the Warriors, trailing 2-0. Richardson trying to get out of this jam, the pitch. Inside and low, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Delaney Byers. Birdie, the pinch runners at third, Nugent at second, Collins at first, with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Winding the 1-0 pitch. That's a called strike on the outside corner, 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike the count to Delaney Byers. The windup and the 1-1 pitch. Pop fouls, 1 ball and 2 strikes. One and 2 the count to Delaney Byers. So big spot here, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Richardson, the wind and the pitch, fouled away, still 1 and 2. Boy, anymore you hear the beating of the over in the Southern Wesleyan dugout. You think of the Houston Astros. I don't know if there's going to be any thought of trying to do anything of that sort, but that's the first thing you think of anymore when you hear people beating on stuff over in the dugout. I think that's a fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. And the pitch. Nope. High. 2 and 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count to Delaney Byers. No place to put her. Runners third, second, and first. His bases are loaded with 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Richardson at 80 pitches here in the 5th inning. Ready to deliver the 2-2 pitch. Hit to left field. Hit pretty well. West going back towards the fence. Does she have room? She does, and she makes the catch right at the fence. And the Pioneers get out of the jam. If that wind is not blowing from left to right, that's a grand slam home run. But the wind knocks it down just enough as West makes the catch at the fence, and the side is retired. No runs in the inning. 2 hits, 3 left. Middle of the 5th, it's Tusculum 2, Southern Wesleyan nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network.
King feeds the post, Hankins scores! They win their first national title!
Left fielder, number 26, Tori West.
We got everything straightened out here on some changes for Southern Wesleyan. Number 15, Emma Collins, comes in from center field to pitch. And Addie Nugent, who was the DP, goes into center field. So they'll drop down to 9 for the time being. Collins, the new pitcher. 1 strike to Tori West. And that pitch is taken for a ball, 1 ball, 1 strike. Collins making her 5th appearance all in, or update these stats here for you. She's making her 7th appearance of the season. She's made 2 starts. She's 1-0 with a 0.91 earned run average. That one is lined foul by West, a ball and 2 strikes. Collins, 15 in the 3rd innings, 13 hits, 2 earned runs. She's walked 9, struck out 20. Has Emma Collins. She was in center field. Now she's in the pitcher's spot. Last year, Collins pitched in 17 games, made 4 starts. She was 1-3 with 4 saves, a 6.52 ERA, 29 innings, 36 hits, 29 strikeouts, 20 walks. The 1-2 count here to Tori West. That ball's outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Nugent, who is the DP, is now in center field. Still batting in the 9 spot. Collins, the pitcher, now in the leadoff spot where she was, and they'll drop to 9 for now. 3-2 the count to Tori West. She'll be followed by Alloway and Gramp here in the 5th. Three and 2 the count to Tori West. Pitch. Outside, ball 4. The West draws a leadoff walk here in the 5th.
Right fielder, 00,
And Alloway will bat. Alloway's flied out twice, both times to right fielder Lydia Clinton. Alloway, 4 home runs, 15 RBIs this season. 3rd on the team in RBIs, despite batting out of the leadoff spot all year. And not your prototypical leadoff hitter for speed, but more for getting on base. She does very well. 1 ball and no strikes. The count to Anna Alloway. I'm sure was glad to see Ludenbacher depart. Going 0 for 2 against her. Low and in with 2 balls and no strikes. Ludenbacher went 4 innings, allowed 2 runs, both earned on 3 hits. She struck out 3 and walked 1, and also hit a batter. 2-0 pitch to Alloway's line to center field, right at the center fielder Nugent, who makes the catch. Hit it right on the nose and right to the center fielder for the first out.
Baseman, number 33, Alexis Graham.
So Nugent, who just came into the game in center field, gets a rocket hit right at her, and she stayed with it and made the catch for the out. Alloway and Brown have both hit screamers in this game that have been caught. Alexis Gramp at the plate. Gramp has struck out and walked in her 2 plate appearances. Inside corner, strike 1 to Alexis Gramp. Tori West on at first base has been frequently used as a pinch runner for the Pioneers during her Tusculum career. Gramp shows bunt and takes that one high, a ball and a strike. West has just 1 career stolen base, but she has scored 15 runs. One pitch. Chopped to short, could be 2. Tossed to second for 1, on to first, not in time. Herlitzka gets it on to Byers, but the relay throw to Berrigan at first was just late. As Gramp legs it out. 2 down here in the 5th.
The shortstop, number 20, Taylor Johnson.
Taylor Johnson will bat. Johnson has singled and fouled out in 2 plate appearances. Grant, the runner at first base, has not attempted a stolen base this season. Grant had 4 steals in 5 attempts last year. Inside, 1 ball and no strikes to Taylor Johnson. Collins with the wind and the 1-0 pitch. Popped up, foul, maybe playable. Berrigan gives it a look and unable to come up with it as the ball goes out of our line of sight here. Our view here from the press box is very limited. Where I sit, I have to lean forward to even see first base, and it's about all I'm going to see. I can get down to the right field corner, and that's about it. Anything else that's over towards the dugout area, you just wait for the reaction. Obviously, you have a different view watching at home with the camera out there behind the backstop that can pick up those plays. But 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count to Taylor Johnson. Red Edmonds Field, which will be the home of the 2020 South Atlantic Conference Softball Tournament. First time the Pioneers have hosted that since 2012. 1-2 pitch is a ball. And taking off and stealing second base, despite the nice scoop and tag by Herlitzka. Gramp gets a stolen base. I don't think Collins knew that the runner was going. All of a sudden she sees the catcher just fire one past her down to second base. And a good catch and tag there by Herlitzka, but Gramp is in safely with the stolen base, her first of the year. She's in scoring position now with a 2 ball and 2 strike count on Taylor Johnson. Grayson Brown on deck here in the 5th. Tusculum leading 2-0. Popped up in the infield. Herlitzka calling for it all the way, and she will make the catch. And the side is retired. A walk, and that's it for the Pioneers in the 5th.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Pitching change for the Pioneers as we go to the top of the 6th inning. The new pitcher for Tusculum will be the freshman left-handed or junior left-hander Delilah Malcheski. Malcheski, a first-year Pioneer pitcher, junior out of Mount Prospect, Illinois, by way of Walters State. Malcheski making her 3rd appearance this season. She's 2-0 with a 2.86 earned run average, 7 in the 3rd innings, 9 hits, 3 runs, no walks, and 10 strikeouts for Delilah Malcheski. We'll go to work here in the middle of the Southern Wesleyan lineup in the top of the 6th inning. So Richardson done after 5. She did not allow a run on 4 hits, and she struck out 3 batters and walked 3. Ran into a little trouble in the 5th and was able to get out of it on a deep fly ball to left field off the bat of Delaney Byers. So we go to the 6th as Malcheski will go to work. It'll be Lydia Clanton leading off for the Warriors. Clanton has grounded out and singled. Two 0 Tusculum. They've been out hit by Southern Wesleyan 4-3. Malcheski's pitch is there for a strike. One strike the count to Lydia Clanton. Next pitch from Malcheski, swing and a miss, strike two. Malcheski's 2 appearances this season against Belmont Abbey. She pitched 3 2/3 innings of relief and a 7-5 victory. That was back on February the 14th. And then on Sunday against Davis and Elkins, she pitched 3 2/3 innings and an 8-3 win and got credit for the win there. Struck out 6 against the Senators. 0-2 is hit down the right field line towards the corner, and Alloway makes the catch and crashes into the wall again. And oh no, she's down again. That's twice now that Alloway has gone into the fence and injured herself. She makes the catch for the out. And again, they're going to have to go out and tend to her as she made the play as she crashed into the fence. Take a look at the replay here. And it was hit down the right field line. Alloway got there to the fence and made the catch as she crashed into the fence, and again may have hurt her arm as she did earlier in the game. And she's up again. We'll see if they need to tend to her again in the dugout. She was in the dugout for about 3 or 4 minutes before coming back out. That happened on a triple by Collins back in the 3rd inning. This time Alloway makes the catch. A nice play.
Challenge. All you gotta do is leave it better than you found it. It's gonna get difficult to stand, but hold your balance.
So Alloway is going to stay in the ball game, it looks like. She's being checked out. But nice play out there in right field by Alloway for the first out of the 6th inning. It's a tough game for Alloway. She's 0 for 3 at the plate, and she's been run into the fence twice. She's going to stick it out here. Now batting for Southern Wesleyan is the catcher Megan New.
The catcher, number 10, Megan New.
New has popped up and grounded out on a comebacker to Richardson back in the 4th. Pitch is taken for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. The count to Megan New. Malcheski with the 1-0 pitch. This one's hit to right. Alloway is going to be in front of the fence this time and makes the catch right at the warning track. And it defiantly so for the 2nd out of the inning.
The third baseman, number 3, Jalea Stanford.
So 2 fly balls to right, 2 outs here in the 6th inning.
Stanford.
And Jalea Sanford will bat. She's walked and reached on a fielder's choice. She's 0 for 1 officially. 2 outs here in the 6th as Malcheski's gotten the first 2 batters on fly balls to right. Malcheski ready to go, the first pitch. That's there for a strike. 1 strike the count to Jalea Sanford. Taylor Lee waits on deck, left-handed batter. Wind up the 0-1 pitch. Ball in the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 the count to Sanford. Delilah Malcheski started the inning in relief of Ivy Richardson, who went 5 innings. Is in line for the win. 1-1 pitch. That's a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Julius Sanford. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Malcheski comes in, gets the side 1-2-3 in the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning with Tusculum leading Southern Wesleyan 2-0 on the Pioneer Sports Network. We're off to the bottom of the 6th inning with the Pioneers leading by a score of 2-0. Grayson Brown will lead off against Emma Collins, who came in the 5th inning. Brown has fly to center and line to left in her 2 at-bats. Wind up in the first pitch. It's high. 1 ball and no strikes. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Grayson Brown. She'll be followed by Chloe Freischmidt and Sammy West here in the 6th. Game 1 of our doubleheader, Tusculum leading by a score of 2-0. Collins pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Ball to strike, the count to Brown. One and the 1-1 pitch, fouled away, 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Brown. Wind up the 1-2 pitch. Popped up, shallow left field. Lee calls her off, and then the ball drops in, and it's going to be everybody's save. So on at first is Grayson Brown as the discussion continues on that ball. And we're going to have a pinch runner for the Pioneers. Caitlin Brinkley will run at first base for Grayson Brown.
For the Pioneers, number 1, Caitlin Brinkley. Now batting the catcher, number 14, Chloe Freischmidt.
The first play has been officially scored as an error on the left fielder, Lee. Shows bunt, does Freischmidt, takes it up and in for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Caitlin Brinkley, the runner at first base, pinch running for Grayson Brown. Brinkley has 1 stolen base this season. He's a sophomore out of Hendersonville. 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 the count to Chloe Freischmidt. Freischmidt is singled and scored back in the 4th. She also struck out. Two-0 pitch. Popped up, out of play, 2 balls and a strike. Two and 1 the count to Freischmidt. Bunted in front of the plate. It's a good bunt. In comes Collins, throwing to first. Ooh! Out at first base is the call. And moving up to second base is Brinkley. So it's a sacrifice. Let's see the replay here. And
Number 3, Sammy West.
that looked like safe, but it's an out. And there's one down here in the 6th inning. Could just take it for a ball to Sammy West. West has been out on a bunt attempt and tripled in a run in the 4th, and then she scored later in the inning, so she's been involved in both runs in this game. 1-0 pitch, popped up, shallow right field. In comes the center fielder and the right fielder together, and it is the right fielder, Clanton, who makes the catch for the 2nd out. No chance for Brinkley to advance. 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th, and the designated hit player, Claire Kraut, will bat. Kraut struck out and grounded out. That second at bat of the ground out brought home West with the 2nd run of the game. That's where we stand right now, 2-0 here in the last of the 6th. Wind up in the first pitch. Low and in for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Claire Kraut. Wind up in the 1-0 pitch. Popped up, out of play, a ball and a strike. One ball and 1 strike to count to Claire Kraut. Wind up in the 1-1 pitch. Inside, 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. On deck is the second baseman, Brittany France. Two-1 pitch, hit foul, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the 6th. Two and 2 the count to Claire Kraut. Collins asking New to go through the signs. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. First strikeout for Collins, and she works around the leadoff error. And 1 left on base. We go to the top of the 7th inning of game 1 of our doubleheader. It's Tusculum 2, Southern Wesleyan nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network. We go to the top of the 7th inning with Tusculum leading 2-0 over Southern Wesleyan in game 1 of our doubleheader. Delilah Malcheski trying to nail this one down for Ivy Richardson. She'll face a pinch hitter to start the top of the 7th inning. It'll be Sequoia Wingfield. Wingfield, a freshman out of Richmond, Virginia.
Pinch hitting for the Warriors, number 88, Sequoia Wingfield.
So Wingfield will bat here to lead off the top of the 7th inning. Wingfield this season at the plate has batted 9 times. She has 3 hits, one of them a double. She's also walked 5 times. Facing the lefty Malcheski. The first pitch to her is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Sequoia Wingfield. She'll be followed by Berrigan and Herdlitska here in the top of the 7th inning. 2 runs, 3 hits, an error for Tusculum. No runs, 4 hits, an error for Southern Wesleyan. 1-0 pitch. Foul tipped at the plate, 1 ball and 1 strike. Game 2 of our doubleheader will start about 30 minutes or so after the conclusion of this one. One and 1 the count to Wingfield. Malcheski. The 1-1 pitch. Outside corner, strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Wingfield. Malcheski takes a walk behind the circle. And ready to go. 1 and 2 the count. Pitch. Tipped foul, still 1 and 2. One ball and 2 strikes to count to Wingfield. Warriors trying to protect this 6-game winning streak. They've got 3 outs left to do so. Wind to the 1-2 pitch. Half swing foul, still 1 and 2. Southern Wesleyan's 4 losses this season. They were swept in a doubleheader by North Georgia, 8-0 and 4-0. No embarrassment there. And then a loss to Southern Indiana 2-1 and a loss to Gannon 3-1. And they beat Gannon in Westchester and a couple wins over Talladega, and here we are. 1-2 pitch. Tip foul, 1 and 2. Actually beat Talladega 3 times. They beat them and Columbia International on Friday. And then played Talladega twice Saturday and swept them. Warriors will open up their Conference Carolina schedule against Belmont Abbey next week. 1 and 2 the count to Wingfield. Change-up called strike 3. So Malcheski wins the battle as Wingfield goes down looking. Second strikeout for Malcheski, 1 down here in the 7th.
The first baseman, number 9.
Callie Berrigan, the first baseman, will bat. Berrigan has walked and grounded out. 0 for 1 officially. Malcheski's retired all 4 she has faced. First pitch to her. Outside, 1 ball and no strikes. One ball and no strikes the count to Callie Berrigan. From Malcheski. He's there for a strike, 1 and 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Berrigan. Wind up the 1-1 pitch. Swinging a foul tip, 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes to count to Berrigan. Malcheski rubbing some dirt. Now ready to go. With the 1-2 delivery coming. Just off the plate, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Callie Berrigan. Berrigan, the senior. Her and Herlitzka, the 2 seniors on the Southern Wesleyan roster. 2-2 the count. Malcheski's pitch, line foul down the left field side, still 2-2. The ball's retrieved and back to Malcheski. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. 1 out here in the 7th. Tusculum leading game 1 of this doubleheader 2-0. Malcheski, 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Malcheski paints the corner again. 3rd straight strikeout for the lefty and 3rd in the game. And 2 outs here in the 7th inning.
Number 34, Riley Herlitzka.
Riley Herlitzka, the last hope for the Warriors. She has struck out and singled. So 1 more out for the Pioneers. The 21st out always seems to be the hardest one. Malcheski's first pitch hit to 3rd. Brown across in time for the out. And that would turn out to be a pretty easy 21st out. The Pioneers get the victory by a score of 2-0 here in game 1 of our doubleheader. Combined shutout, Ivy Richardson gets the win. Delilah Malcheski gets the save, and the Pioneers get the win in game 1 by a score of 2-0. We'll have the totals and a recap for you in just a moment on the Pioneer Sports Network. Back here at Red Emmons Field, where Tusculum has defeated Southern Wesleyan 2-0 in game 1 of today's doubleheader. For the Pioneers, they had 2 runs, 3 hits, and 1 error. They left 5 on base. Southern Wesleyan, no runs, 4 hits, 1 error, and they left 5 on base. The winning pitcher, Ivy Richardson, she went 5 innings, allowed 4 hits, walked 3, and struck out 3. She gets the win to improve to 5-1. Delilah Malcheski gets to save her first of the season. For Southern Wesleyan, the loss goes to Delaney Laudenbacher. As she takes the loss to drop her record to 3-2. She went 4 innings, allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, walked 1, and struck out 3 with 2 innings of relief from Emma Collins, who struck out 1 and walked 1. Did not allow a hit or a run in those 2 innings of relief. So with the win, the Pioneers improved their record to 11-2. Southern Wesleyan drops to 8-5 with the loss. As the Pioneers have now won 6 consecutive games, Southern Wesleyan's winning streak comes to an end at 6 in a row. Game 2 of our doubleheader will be starting in about 25 minutes or so, roughly, about 5:25. We will have a live stream for you of that one as well. I'll be back for Game 2 of our doubleheader this afternoon between Tusculum and Southern Wesleyan. Time of the game was 1 hour and 57 minutes in game number 1 today. The hitting stars for the Pioneers as they get the 2 runs in the 4th inning, an RBI triple by Sammy West and an RBI groundout by Claire Kraut. Nobody in the game had more than 1 hit in the game. So good pitching performance from both teams. And the Pioneers come out on top by a score of 2-0. For our producer, Zach Hartle, I'm Jim Miller. Again, I'll be back for Game 2 of our doubleheader in about 25 minutes. Your final score in Game 1, Tusculum 2, Southern Wesleyan 0 on the Pioneer Sports Network.